Hey KBUZZPOP family! Welcome back to your favorite corner of the internet, where every click brings you closer to the heart of your favorite stars. Today, we've got something that will not only melt your heart, but also have you smiling from ear to ear. Imagine this: Hyun Bin, the usually composed, charismatic, and effortlessly cool leading man of K-drama royalty, suddenly turning into the most adorable, slightly shy, and incredibly funny storyteller as he opens up about Son Ye Jin's most meaningful gift to him. Oh yes, this isn't just another celebrity moment. This is pure gold, a confession so sweet you might just need a box of tissues, and maybe a good laugh too. Now, let's set the scene. You know how Hyun Bin is: calm, poised, the kind of man whose every move seems perfectly planned, as if he's been rehearsing life's moments in advance. But apparently, when Son Ye Jin gives him something special, all that composure goes flying out the window. And in this particular confession, he lets his guard down completely. It's the kind of raw, genuine, and oh-so-funny honesty that makes you realize these two aren't just a glamorous couple. They're real, they're adorable, and they're just like us when it comes to love. So picture this: Hyun Bin, seated comfortably during an interview, when the host casually asks about the most memorable gift Son Ye Jin has ever given him. Instead of giving a simple, polite answer like most celebrities would, he chuckles, that deep, warm laugh, and then leans forward like he's about to share a top-secret mission detail. And trust me, the way he tells it, it's so vivid, you can almost see the moment play out in front of you. He begins with a story about how the gift wasn't flashy or expensive, but it carried a meaning so deep it practically carved itself into his heart. He talks about the day it happened, how they had just wrapped up a busy week of schedules, both exhausted yet happy, and Son Ye Jin had invited him over under the pretense of just a casual dinner. Of course, knowing Ye Jin, casual still meant the table was set beautifully, candles flickering, her cooking filling the room with the kind of aroma that could make anyone forget the stress of the day. But here's where Hyun Bin's confession takes a turn from romantic to downright funny. He admits that when Ye Jin handed him the gift, he was completely caught off guard. Not because he didn't expect her to give him something, but because, well, he thought it was food. Yes, you heard that right. Our cool and composed Hyun Bin thought the heartfelt gift Son Ye Jin had prepared for him was just dessert. And so, without a second thought, he shook the box a little and even tried to guess out loud, chocolate? Cake. Which Ye Jin found so hilarious she had to take a moment to compose herself before telling him to actually open it. Inside, instead of dessert, was something that instantly silenced him: a handmade scrapbook filled with moments from their journey together, from candid photos they'd never shared with the public to little handwritten notes Ye Jin had secretly collected over time. Every page was a piece of their story, beautifully arranged, with inside jokes only they would understand, and little doodles that Ye Jin had made herself. Here's where Hyun Bin's funniest confession comes in. He says that instead of saying something smooth and romantic in that moment, he blurted out, "So, no cake," and then immediately realized how ridiculous he sounded, especially with Ye Jin's eyes glistening as she watched him flip through the pages. He admits that it wasn't his most charming moment, but that's exactly why it became so special, because it was real. They laughed, they teased each other about it, and it turned into a memory that was equal parts romantic and hilarious. Now, imagine the fans' reactions. Social media would have been flooded with comments like, "Hyun Bin really thought the most meaningful gift from Son Ye Jin was a cake? This is peak Bin Jin energy." And, "Forget K-dramas, their real life is the real rom-com." And honestly, they wouldn't be wrong. But as Hyun Bin goes on in his confession, the laughter gives way to something deeper. He explains that the scrapbook wasn't just a gift, it was a reminder of everything they'd been through together. The challenges, the victories, the quiet moments, and the times when all they needed was each other. He says it made him realize how much thought and love Ye Jin put into even the smallest things, and that's what makes it the most meaningful gift he's ever received. And here's where we, as fans, can't help but get a little emotional. Because isn't that what love really is? Not the grand gestures or the extravagant surprises, but the everyday acts of thoughtfulness that say, "I know you. I see you. I remember every moment with you. Now, let's make this interactive. What about you, KBUZZPOP fam? If someone you love gave you a scrapbook like that, would you cry, laugh, or, like Hyun Bin, awkwardly ask about cake? Drop your reactions in the comments. From here, Hyun Bin's storytelling takes us into a playful reenactment. Yes, you read that right. He actually mimics how Ye Jin looked at him when he made the cake comment, complete with her slightly raised eyebrow and amused smile. He even imitates her voice saying, "Bina, it's not cake," which had everyone in the room laughing. You can almost hear the gentle teasing in her tone, the kind that comes from a place of deep affection. What's so striking about this confession isn't just the story itself, it's how Hyun Bin tells it. You can see the way his eyes light up when he talks about her, how his smile softens when he remembers her efforts, and how he doesn't mind looking a little silly if it means sharing an honest, happy memory. It's that combination of sincerity and humor that makes this moment so unforgettable. And that's what makes the Bin Jin love story so captivating. It's not just glamorous photo shoots and red carpet appearances. It's these behind-the-scenes moments, the ones they choose to share with us, that remind us love can be both profound and playful. So as we wrap up this little peek into Hyun Bin's cutest and funniest confession, here's a question for you. What's the most meaningful gift you've ever received, and did you react the way you should have, or the way Hyun Bin did? Be honest. Let's see who else out there has had their no cake moment. Love is beautiful, but love with laughter? That's where the magic really happens. And as long as Hyun Bin and Son Ye Jin keep giving us these candid glimpses into their life together, we'll be here, hearts full, ready for the next chapter of their real-life rom-com.